Welcome to THBD. My name is Stef, and today I will show you a rather special watch. It's a Dutch-made watch. It goes by the name of holthinrichs watches, and it's the Ornament one. What I have here in my hands is the Ornament 1 by holthinrichs watches. It's a Dutch watch brand that's a few years old now. And this is one of the first models that came out. Actually, it's the second within the same line, but the initial one had a ruthenium, really dark dial with a silver lining, and this one has a silver dial with a black lining. So it's rather a special watch, not only because it's Dutch made, but especially because it's the first Dutch watch that is 3D printed. Maybe it's the first watch in the whole world of watches that is 3D printed in stainless steel. As you can see over here, you can see that the lugs are really hollow, and that is something that is just not, how do you call it? It's not doable with the normal CNC milling. So it's quite exceptional, an exceptional feature. As you can see, you can really see the rough printed material, and it's a nice contrast against the nicely polished case. So with this nice polishing, it looks like it's just a normal watch case, but if you look very closely, you can see that it's not that usual. Even the crown is 3D printed. Let's get it in focus. Why is it not focusing? Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. So if you can see closely on the crown, you see that it's really an outstanding crown. It's nicely designed. You can see the rough material and the polished material looking really nicely together. The hands are quite exceptional. They're open. They're polished on one side and they're brushed on the other side, so they match really nicely the outside casing with the polished edges and the raw material of the 3D print procedure. This watch is powered by the ETA 7001 peso. It has 21,600 beats per hour. It is nicely decorated. As you can see, the caseback is a see-through caseback and is screwed in. And the caseback is also 3D printed. So this makes a fully 3D printed watch case with a nice Swiss movement in it. It's 38 millimeters in the diameter. It is 47 lug to lug and 20 millimeters in between. And as you can see on my slightly big wrist, I have 20 centimeter in circumference wrist. That is, well, it just fits nicely. It's not too small, not too big, but it just fits really nicely. And the case is rather sleek or thin, so it can easily be be dressed in a dress and a suit. So the maker of this watch, holthinrichs, is a friend of mine, and he's not only a watchmaker, but he's also an educated architect, a graduated architect especially. And he took all his lessons from architecture into making this watch. So it's not only has to be just beautiful, but it also has to do something with why it is designed and where it is built for. So the why he chose this movement is not only because it's just a beautiful Swiss movement, but it's also because of the position of the sub-seconds and the position of the hands and the dial. Everything is just in the right measurements. So you have the sub-dial is precisely in the half between of the hands and the outside of the case. So everything is really balanced and really in the place where it should be. The lugs are not only hollow from this point of view, but also in the lines in the lug. Let's see if it focuses. Well, it's difficult to get this in focus, sorry. But you can see from front to back it's also hollow. So that makes it really special, and it's just something you can't get with normal milling. So again, it looks just like a dress watch, really nice and really classy. But on the other hand, it's just only from the inside view, it's just looking really how do you say it? Really industrial by the look of the printed metal, which is untouched. It's almost like a sort of concrete look to it, which just makes a beautiful contrast with the highly polished outside of the case. It has a slightly domed crystal, which gives it an awesome look. So you probably wonder why am I doing this review with two other watches in front of me. That's because I wanted to state out that this is part of my Dutch trinity. So in front of me I have here three watches that are all Dutch made. Two of them on the right side have an ETA powered movement, and the one on the left is a Psycho powered movement. When I got into watches, I immediately got in touch with the Dutch watch brands. So I thought they were quite unique, offering something else that's not on the market, and so that's why I got interested in these brands. And firstly I started with a Florijn 1. It's a real bulky, big, heavy diver's watch, and it's really versatile, and it's Psycho powered, so it can have a beating or so. So it's just my my do everything with watch. So no matter what comes on a day, this watch can take it. On this side we have the La Cita. It's an Amsterdam Dutch watch brand that started in the 50s and ran it till the end of the 90s. This one is probably from the 60s or 70s due to its case. I think it's probably 70s because it has a really 70s vibe to it. It's ETA based. I think it's ETA 27XX series. I'm not sure which type it especially is, but it's really nice. The dial has a sort of how do you call it? A sort of sunburst look to it, but not circular, more in a straight line. I don't know how it's called, but it's just really cool. And the way the tritium aged on the markers above and aside the Breguet numerals, it's just really cool. And the latest addition is, of course, well, the watch which I started with in the beginning of this video is the holthinrichs. And it's just a special watch. It's not an everyday watch. It's slightly more dressy, but I can state in this trinity it's the most dressy watch that I have. So it's rather my special occasion watch. And in comparison to these three, this one is just a watch I bought for its usability, its durability, and it can handle everything. This watch caught my eye in the local thrift shop, and it's a really cool vintage piece, so that's why I bought it. And on the other end, my holthinrichs, I got in touch with the maker and the owner of the brand, and he invited me to his launch party in Delft. And as stated on the dial, made in Delft, that's where it's from. So he invited me to his launch party, and he had his speech and showed us the watches and told us everything about it, from his first thoughts of making actually a watch till the realization of making a watch, and the presentation and the launching of his brand and watches. And I got touched by his personality, by his story, by everything that's about him and his watches. So normally you just walk in a shop and buy a watch that you like. Especially with this one, it's more of a situation where I went to the launch, got in touch with these watches, and really got enthusiastic about them. And afterwards I've been visiting his atelier and see him quite a few times, and it was different. It was not just buying a watch, but the way I see it is it was just about love, passion, beauty, and I see this watch as a medal of that relationship that I got into with the maker of this watch. So it's more just like a sort of achievement what comes out of the whole process, and not just walk in a store, buy a watch, go home, enjoy it. And there's really a feeling about it, around it. So that's what makes this my very special watch. And the way it looks and feels, it just adds way to that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, just give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. And I hope in the future I will be doing plenty more videos like this. But if you have any suggestions, comments, questions, just leave them in the comments below and I will get straight back to you. Thanks for watching, it's absolutely my pleasure, and see you in the next one. Bye.